Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. This is a very special episode of Rockn, Talkn solo interview with my very good friends, Jeff Summers and Danny Hynes, and the incredible band Talkn in the UK. I have just adored these artists for so long. They've been on my page, and the more I get to know them, their story, and our stories in the crossover, it's just a miracle. So I'm really honored to bring you this very special episode of Rockn, Talkn solo interview. Thanks so much for tuning in and supporting everything I do. I love you all for it. This is a really great episode. I love it. So thanks so much and share it wide, everybody. Thanks to my two great hosts and my great epic people behind the scenes and I drive the records and our slogan. Shoot yourself in the foot when all is said and done. Unfortunately, he got called into work, so all 5 of my interviews today are without my new co-host. But I'm really glad that you joined, and I hope you don't mind. And maybe Jeff can be with us.
He just got home, and he'll be with us within 10 minutes.
Oh, wonderful. He told one of the best stories on the last interview, and I can't wait to ask you about it. You know, I know that you guys were signed really quickly. You know, tell me, how the heck did you get Motorhead to be in your audience to even have them ask you that question?
Actually, my former girlfriend worked at Virgin Records. A friend of hers, Hillary, was dating Eddie.
Oh, so like you kind of slept your way to the top. Has anybody ever said that?
I've never slept with Eddie.
I mean, I know, I'm not being disrespectful. I just thought that was kind of cute.
No, it's just it was a next girlfriend of his brought him to the gig. It wasn't set up or anything. And
no.
Just by coincidence, we were playing that night. Thank God. It's just fate.
Isn't it weird sometimes how fate just happens like that and miracles just unfold? And wow, what a way to start your career, knowing like nickel and diming in small clubs and trying to hustle your stuff. It's just bam, right?
It was incredible at the beginning. It's really, the really unfortunate thing was the management people that we signed to. Unfortunately, they weren't on the ball when we come off that big tour. I mean, because that was a huge tour at the time.
Yeah.
And, we got a great response from the people, and sold a lot of our first single, "Not Bad World," set the stage alight, and people are really interested. But then they had this little shitty, I think it was about 8 dates, small tour afterwards in the January. We finished in November.
You're talking about the one where you went from London to Germany with Motorhead and then you come back?
No, we didn't go to Europe with them. No, we just done the UK.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, we finished in November 29th.
Yeah.
So
you come back and then you have just small gigs, is what you're saying?
Very small tour, which was okay. But what they should have had was put us out with another big band to build. That's how you do it. And also they were holding out for a better deal with the record labels.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I tried to do both sides of the
Did I see? Sorry, just hang on a second. You just popped up a messenger. Just give me a second, Kelly.
No worries. I got lots of help now editing them, so.
He's logging on.
Oh, there he is.
Get his ugly face up now.
I've been dealing with so many time zones. I interviewed Tony Dolan's whole project from Italy, and him and John, and then yesterday interviews from all around the world. It's just, I think I'm going insane. Is he in or not?
Well, he's got a nice picture up.
He's got a nice picture up, doesn't he? We need to see your face, brother.
And hear your voice.
Yeah, that helps.
You there, Jeffrey? He's at a funny age now. He can't work things.
I'm getting to that age where people are like, yeah, people helping me are like, you got to change your platform. We're going to try and do new software. So everybody's on the screen at the same time. We can actually jam out and do songs together and stuff. And I'm like, learn new software. Oh,
Just getting used
no,
to this.
too old, too old. And how old are you officially before you can use the word hooligan when referring to the youngins listening to your music? I think I'm getting there. Well, I'm sure you'll connect eventually, but
Yeah, as I was saying, they were holding out for the better record deal as well, and you know, you can only do that for so long before people lose interest.
yeah, and I mean, now you can always say we did that, and even if you never did anything else in between, you could probably still go on a tour with some epic people just on that. But I mean, at
Exactly.
the time, it's like 2 weeks goes by and you're not relevant anymore.
Yeah, yeah, that's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. So I hear you there. And I actually came into meeting you more towards your recent stuff through Pure Steel Records and Bob Mitchell, and just what a wonderful heart he is. And
He is a good guy. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, very good guy. And I think your most recent, oh, he's there. He's finally here.
Buongiorno, speak the lingo.
Get her
Ah,
again.
hero, ah, hero.
Oh no,
What's
you're on the big screen, and I mean it says it's there, but I do not see or hear
can you
you.
hear? Not if you can hear us, Jeff. Nah,
I can't even.
Gotcha.
there you go.
Hey.
Yay!
Ah,
Welcome. How
yes.
are
How you
you?
doing, Kelly?
I'm
I'm
doing
good,
really,
darling. How are
really
you?
well. This was a great interview. Thank you for joining me. I was doing my first set of interviews with my new co-host, Sean Shane. He works in the healthcare industry, I guess, and got called into work and is very upset because we have so many interviews today he can't do. But I hope you don't mind
Ah,
just sharing the hour with
no,
me anyways.
It's the only chance I
no,
get
no
to
worries.
when we do interviews
Hello,
like this.
Daniel. How the devil are you?
Is it yourself? Happy
Yeah, give me
anniversary,
like
Dan.
Lenny Hynes.
We,
Oh,
we met 41 years ago yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
wow. Wow.
It's our 41st anniversary, and he didn't even buy me some champagne.
But I'm drinking the wine for you.
Hello.
Well, that's
No,
good. I'll celebrate
cheers.
it with the Canadian New. Cheers to you both. 40 years. What a career.
41.
41,
Yeah.
41. Sorry.
Good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
matters.
Oh,
We were just saying, what a kickoff start you guys had with and how he explained how Motorhead came to accept you onto your first real big thing. And
Yeah,
what a way to start your career. You know what I mean? He didn't like nickel and dime or nothing. He just like bam. Right. And
yeah.
then
yeah.
they made fun
No,
of
absolutely.
Danny for sleeping his way to the top. But we got
I,
past that.
I just go back at there for a second, Kelly. I was explaining that Hillary, a friend of ours a friend of Sophie's from Virgin Records, had brought
Yeah.
Eddie
Was
down.
his girlfriend,
And
right?
Kelly now's got me sleeping with them.
No, 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 no.
Sleeping my way to the
Your
top.
girlfriend was friends with the yeah. So like she worked at the record label. So that was my joke.
We were all
I didn't.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Ah, it's so long ago now, right?
Danny's story's better.
What I, what I was, what I was
Well, I
telling
mean,
Kelly, what I
we
was
were.
telling Kelly was, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
What I was telling Kelly was that, after the Motorhead tour, the management we had put us on a small tour, and where they should have put us on with another big band. And then they were
Ah,
Yeah,
also holding out for a record deal,
yeah,
which, as I said, record labels get bored after that. They can only wait so long. And in the end, it was like there was Atlantic Records were interested in us,
oh wow.
yeah.
which was like we'd have loved to go with. And it was between us and a band called More.
That's right.
And
Yeah,
for some reason, they went with the ugly guys.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah.
We've been talking about, we did an all female episode yesterday about what looks mean in metal. And I mean, the uglier you are, the weirder looking you are, it works for men. It
Well, that's right.
really
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Well,
it didn't.
Danny and I have been working on. We've been working. Not only did we start at the top and work our way to the bottom, but we've been, but we've been trying. We've been trying to make ourselves ugly for the last 41 years.
Hasn't worked,
You're
yeah.
way too handsome, both of you, to do that. I mean, it doesn't work. But yeah, for some reason, it's like, I don't know, the pretty boys of metal just don't get the respect. And I don't, maybe because it's a 99% male crowd you're singing to.
I think you're right there, particularly at that time. It's different now, but at that
Yeah,
time,
yeah. I no, it's not. No, when I go to a metal show, you have one or two metal chicks who are actually there, knowledgeable about the music, and then you have beautiful hot chicks showing up with the guys.
not at our gigs.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's
Yeah,
mostly,
I'm joking.
99% men and, their girlfriends, I guess.
But anyway, Atlantic Records went with more
Yeah.
and spent something like £500,000 on them.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, I think they had about two or three albums, Jeff? Before
Yeah,
they
I'm pretty sure that while they were with Atlantic, it was 2 albums, and then
Sure.
they made another album on another record label.
And that was the end of them.
That was the end of them.
Atlantic blew it.
They did.
Yeah,
They
they
did.
did.
It's funny how
100%.
nobody listens to me either. I've sent my shows, lips, everything to everybody, and nobody even, they read it and then they don't respond, which is even worse than like if they just didn't read it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in the spirit of lips, never give up. I think that's the motto. And you guys have
How is
done
he?
some pretty awesome stuff. He's amazing. He calls me all the time. Like it's just great. Like almost every day we chat.
What a great, what a lovely man he is.
He is the most humble heart. And he said, Kelly, I don't know how you get me to do stuff because my friend said the other day, you don't do anything for anybody. Like, and I was like crying, I'm like, oh, yeah, he's amazing. And I know that you guys also know Jackie Chambers of Girl School,
Yep.
who's my other weekly co-host. Do you have any stories about working with her?
Well, we
not really.
We only ever done the one gig with Girls' School, and that was during the Motorhead tour. We did a place called D-Side Leisure Centre, which is a big, huge venue just outside Liverpool, which is no longer there. And they added Girls' School and Vardis to the bill, so there was four bands on the bill. So that was the only time we ever played with them. But we've met them over the years,
It's
Mostly,
lovely, eh?
I met Jackie, the Oligarch.
Jackie wasn't in that. It was Kelly, the original guitar player. Yeah,
But
who is now unfortunately dead.
Yeah,
Wow.
I met Jackie in a Bang Your Head festival when I went down with Play Mantas. Yeah, and we had a good session.
It's funny, because all three of you guys have 40-year careers in the industry. That's very, very interesting, how long it's been going and all the troubles and tribulations I'm sure you've gone through over the years. It's just...
Well, we did take 23 years off.
Well, what'd you do in that time?
Oh, we both played in other bands, Jeff had I got my fun man, Paddy Gastalliad. We were always working musicians.
Funnily enough, with the singer from More, I played with the singer from More for a couple of years. The guy that sang with the band More, who are the band that got the deal over us in Atlantic. His name's Paul Murray O'Day. He was the original vocalist in Iron Maiden.
Wow.
And
yes.
And in the early 80s, after Weapon, I played in a band called Wildfire with him, and he's great. I mean, he's a great singer and a great guy. He's a lovely guy.
So there's no animosity, and I know like to get to the level that you guys are at, it's so competitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so competitive that would have been something that probably broke people up and never spoke again, or whatever, right? But I think it's the humbleness of the heart that matters the most. And I think, you guys are some of the best. And, I wanted to ask you about your recent charity stuff with Brian Dollimer.
Well, yeah, that was, well, I've known Brian for years. I met him through his wife, Linda. I've known Brian for over 30 years. And he was doing that charity thing for that young boy who was paralyzed, Justin. And he just sent me an email. He said, do you fancy doing something? And I said, well, it's a bit awkward because, I'm in Sweden, Jeff's in Spain, Tony's in England, well, he's in Norway, and where's Darren? Darren's in Blackpool, right? Somewhere else.
Darren's at the Bay City Rollers.
I thought it was going
It
to be
could be anywhere.
I thought it was going to be a pain in the ass. But then we thought we'd try something. And thankfully, you know, we done our little bits. And Jeff has a good friend in Spain there who put the whole package together. And it worked.
It's funny.
They raised $17,000 for this kid.
Oh, wow. It's funny. I met Brian when I first came back from the States. I just couldn't stay. Had to leave. I couldn't keep my citizenship or my health care. It was a real hard time. And I met Brian first when I moved to London. Like the first person I met in London is Brian Bolivar. What are the chances, right? I go over to his house and I did a great interview. And he's kind of looking at me like, so who do you know? And I go, well, I've interviewed Daddy Hynes today. He goes, no way, I know him. And I think that's about the time you guys actually maybe started chatting, like last fall, November.
Yeah, but I've known him over 30 years.
I know you have. And then I heard all these wonderful stories about you guys.
We went to his place in Florida last February.
Yeah, I heard about that. And I mean, Linda, she's mad. Hilarious. He's mad. He's wonderful mad. And unfortunately, before I got editing well, I put the music in with the interview, so YouTube will not let me put it up. So it's one I have to re-edit. But yeah, what a great experience. I mean, and just why my page is so special is that 6 degrees of separation all around the world, just coincidentally fate, like you were talking about at the beginning. It's fate. Jeff, I wanted to ask you about the incident where you almost died playing for Motorhead.
That
was every night on stage.
Yeah, you want to tell that story again? I know you did it before, but it's so good.
Well, Danny knows the venue. I thought it was Birmingham, but it wasn't Birmingham, Danny, was it?
Edinburgh Odeon.
Edinburgh Odeon. Okay, so it's up in Scotland.
It was actually you and Baz nearly got killed.
And Baz, that's right. Yeah, the bass player as well. Well, Baz was just outside the wing, wasn't he? I was actually inside the wing. Yeah. So there was 3 chances of killing me and only 1 of killing Baz. But you
still outlived him.
Well, so far. Don't forget he's older than me. Or was. So sound checking. You know, Motorhead had been on. All the rig was going up. The lights were up. The sound was up, and the bomber, which was a skeleton, like a skeleton of a flying British, I would imagine, bomber, was hung above the lighting rig, and it would sit above the lighting rig with lights on it. And part of the lighting system was the propellers. They'd spin in lights like the propellers, and the cockpit would light up, and it would sit there until the end of the show, when the band would play Bomber, the song Bomber, and the bomber would rev up and start coming to life, and the propellers would start up, the cockpit, and then kind of come out over the audience and fly like this. So on this particular occasion, I was tuning up on the side of the stage with headphones on, because in those days guitar tuners were they were strobe tuners. They were working on oscillation to tune into pitch, and Motorhead used to tune down. They used to tune a step down, so it's slightly away from 440 hertz. It's just a step down, because I think mainly because they were so busy, and Lemmy probably wanted to save his voice a little bit, so he tunes down to help him a little bit. So I had to go home and retune and recalibrate it all and put it all back where it was, because we didn't tune the step down. We tuned into concert pitch. So while I'm doing this and I've got the headphones on and I'm concentrating on the calibration and the tuning, I just felt this whoosh around the outside of me, and sort of, what's that? And then pulled my headphones off and just realized that there were people standing around me with their jaws literally on the floor, including, Danny and Bruce, the drummer.
Messy pants.
And there am I. Pardon?
Wow.
And messy pants.
Well, you were. I'm not me. I didn't even know what happened. And I think that Buster Keaton moment where in the 1920s or whatever, when Hollywood first began to take off, and it was in silent films, one of Buster Keaton's tricks was he'd stand in front of a building, they'd blow it up, and the whole front would fall down. But he'd be standing where the empty window was. So that's pretty much what it. That's pretty much what. So it must have been, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches either side. Just maybe less than that. One side, and that thing must. I don't know how much it weighed. A ton, maybe more.
Oh
So
my
it literally sliced through Marshall amplifiers, and so it literally was a very, very near death experience for me. And as Danny says, our bass player Baz as well, he was very close as well. Actually, Baz knew more about it than I did.
The incredible thing was with that weight that the other side held, because had that gone, end up.
The whole thing, what
a
a miracle.
The rock crew as well.
Well, you got somebody watching over you. I did make a joke last time that, had he been squished, maybe he would have been more famous for dying on stage before Motorhead, right? You would have become a Dimebag Daryl of metal, right? What?
I would have been a millionaire now. He would
exactly. Yeah. But
I would have claimed the rights to all the songs.
As Danny,
the painting I'm working on.
Oh wow!
Look at that. That's fantastic.
I'm still working on it. Yeah. Hopefully, I can auction it off for my birthday to charity or something. But huge Motorhead fan, and it's so incredible that 6 degrees again of 1 million people over and over again connected to this wonderful, wonderful thing. But I think you guys have held up. I mean, your music. How do you find the sound coming out, so long later? Is it different? Is it people reacting to it the same, or are they reacting to it different? Do you have a new age group responding to it? That's
the
30 questions of one.
Well, I think the first thing is with the sound and everything is we deliberately don't try to sound like we did when we were kids, because our lives have changed, we've matured in many ways. However, we still love rock music. We still love rock music. We love rock music with attitude, with melody, with soul. The bands that we grew up on, they had musicality. They had, they'd grown up where you play from the heart, not from the head, and also, the structure, and they had a unique sound, and that's pretty much what we weren't exactly trying to achieve, but that's what we grew up on. So we ended up achieving that with the first single, Set the Stage Alight, which, if you look back on it now, was very, very unique at the time. People have said it was the first thrash song, for instance. I mean, thrash didn't exist in 1979, 1980. It's very, very fast, very, very fast. And but we didn't do it deliberately to be fast. We did it because we kept saying, this needs to be faster, this needs to be faster. And that's part of being young, the energy and the attitude. And if you play as fast as you're able, and then when you get the opportunity to slow down, you sit right back on it and try to make it, to make it heavy and make it move in the right way. Now we try to do the same things, but musically we're better. We're better players than we were, because we're older and we've been playing a lot longer.
Exactly.
But we've still got the same principles in place, to make it exciting, attitude, melodic and soulful, but very powerful. Hard rock, metal, whatever you want to call it, it's got to be powerful.
I think it'd be really sad if 41 years later we were sounding the same as we were in 1980.
Exactly.
There's a few bands out there doing that, and there's a market for it. People want it, but we just, Jeff and I, particularly Jeff, we write what we like. If it's a good song or a bad song, it's a good song, it stays in the set or goes on the record. If it's a bad song, it's fucked to one side. But it's not, we're not working to sound like we did in 1980. But 41 years older.
Yes.
A little bit more mature.
I say this all the time, and I feel so sorry for bands who get stuck in that pigeonhole. And I hate the fans who do it to them, where they just couldn't do anything else but, including wearing the same outfit. You know what I mean? Because they're so boxed in, right? But I do think that we talked a lot about before with Lips on how from the age of 10 to 20, you kind of define what you absorb to your soul. You know what I mean? That's a very special time. Not that you can't learn new stuff or grow and change and get involved with new music, but that's the stuff that influences you to write at that age, to make music at that age. So I don't think it ever leaves you. Whether we learn new stuff and grow, I don't think the core of it ever leaves you, like you were saying.
And the thing is with us, I mean, you know, I think, and I'm sure Jeff will agree with me, the songs that we wrote in 1980 were pretty melodic. There's tunes. It's not all, you know, Center Stage Light was unique because it was like a dynamite.
Yeah.
But the rest of the songs in the set they're all good tunes. There's all tunes. You know, you can sing along to them.
Right.
But saying that, we came across a cassette from the Motorhead show. It's taped off the desk, which we're going to bring out on vinyl. We've had it digitized and mastered. And we sound like a fucking punk band. It's like,
that's fucking awesome. Young and spunky, right?
Because we had, I think it was 40 minutes we had to do the set. Not that we sped up to do the set, but you know, we were young, loads of energy, excited and playing in front of big crowds. And we just fucking went for it, like boom, 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 boom. But you don't realize that if you come back like 40 years later, what the
I know, right? I know. Have you ever like I don't know why this came to mind, but have you ever lost any stuff that like you only have recorded on a certain format and now it's like gone forever because it was like
no, that's just saying we're really lucky with this. But these cassettes we found, no, I had one in the bottom of my drawer for 40 years.
Yeah.
I was just going through. Actually, this is one of the outcomes of the virus and lockdowns. I've been going through a lot of shit. That's how I found it. And then Bruce, our drummer, my one was recorded at Colston Hall in Bristol on the tour. And then Bruce found a tape from Hammersmith Odeon. Right. So there's a few songs from each going on this final thing. I mean, it's, you know, it's as we say, it's warts and all. It's not, it's not a classy recording. It's not professionally recorded, you know, individual tracks. It's 4 guys on stage and somebody with microphones.
See, I love some of that footage. I love watching those videos the most, you know, when it's the rawest, because somebody catches something that wasn't planned, or somebody catches something that even the professional camera people might not have caught, right? Or the sound guys, right? And I love those videos of the, you know, that raw stuff.
Unfortunately, we have no video footage whatsoever.
Of course, yeah, nobody had phones. What am I saying?
There was.
But yeah.
The interesting thing also, Kelly, what you said there about having lost anything. Within the stuff that we found from the Motorhead tour, the live stuff, we also found the original demos.
Yes.
And within the material, and we'd forgotten about this. We hadn't lost it. We'd actually forgotten it. What we also found that when we were touring with Motorhead, there's 2 songs in the set that we'd forgotten that we'd even written and recorded. And so we heard them for the first time in 41 years and went,
oh my God.
What the fuck is that?
Did you cry? Did you cry? Like, was it emotional? I want to cry right now. Just the thought of that.
For me, playing them. For me, because I found the cassette in my collection, and I'm playing, and I don't even remember these songs. And it has to come back to where we recorded the demo. And the 2, I mean, there's 6 songs, I think. 2 of them we never recorded, never mastered. And they're fucking great songs. They're really good songs. So on the next album, they will go down.
If I promise to never share it with anybody, will you send it to me? Maybe. See, that's how I do it. I don't know how I do it. People just do things they don't do for anybody else. Thank you. That'd be an honor.
If you did play to someone else, then I'd have to kill you.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I'd nobody. It's totally. And the reason why, when I asked you that, have you ever seen the show Absolutely Fabulous?
Oh Jesus,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
It's a Canadian. cult classic. America has never seen it because they don't have any British TV, right? But
Yeah.
I remember
Right.
the episode of when she goes in and accidentally over records over the old Beatles stuff. And
Oh,
then it's
that's right.
throwing
Yes.
that party, and it's just her whining drunk, you know. Right? And I think way back now to my college friends, we used to record everything. We were really messed up making music and art and just walk around, and one guy would just constantly with the video camera. And then we come home one day, and my roommate's like pulling the tape out, going, "What if we get famous and somebody sees us doing drugs?" And I was like, "Oh my God, that's our whole youth, you fucking jerk, right?" He's
Right
setting
now.
it on fire. Of course, he's high as a kite when he's doing it, right? I'm like, ah. But, you know, I mean, that's unbelievable. You guys tell the greatest stories. Oh my good gosh. Do you have
Yeah.
anything else you want to talk about before, you know, we close this up?
I want to ask you about you. What's the situation with your health?
Mm.
Well, actually, the doctors here, like, I have a very specialized healthcare team in the USA at the Mayo Clinic, but losing my citizenship through divorce, I had to come back to Canada. So the wait times here, you know, I'm getting my first appointment in April with a general internist who will refer me to the 25 million specialists I need, which may take a year to 3 years to get my first appointment with them. And then I went to
Yes.
the hospital and they said I might even be too sick for dialysis. My
Is it?
adrenal condition is so bad that it's too much of a shock to even go on dialysis. And that scared me.
Is it? It is your kidneys, obviously. Just
I have what's called Addison's disease and a million other things wrong with me on top of that. So, the Addison's disease means I can't have any surgery, even minimally invasive things could put me into a life threatening situation. So,
Mm.
it's so rare that I'll see a specialist and they'll say, I've never seen a living case of this before in my entire career. Or, you know,
Wow.
you watch the doctor go out of the room and like Google your condition. You're like, oh, frig, here we go. All right. So, chasing medical care around the country and then having to come back to Canada and just not having the money to go to the Mayo Clinic. I have spent, please forgive me for saying this out loud, $246,000 at the Mayo
Wow.
Clinic out of pocket. I lost my house. I lost a marriage. And they want $180,000 to do the next surgery if they even think it's possible. So I mean, I'm kind of uh, giving up on the hope of whatever, and just trying to do as much as I possibly can in the time that I have now. And I'm so blessed. Like it's interview after interview after interview. And my goal is to just get him out there to the world. For whatever reason, nobody's listening. I don't know what the heck it is. Like, Lips calls me up all the time and he goes, Loudwire just misquoted me on something. I'm really pissed. I've sent every interview to Loudwire and they haven't said a word, right? You know,
Oh, God.
so all I really hope for in the future is that these get out there to the world, that my charities get some awareness, that, you know, my support groups get some awareness. We're doing a really awesome thing where we're trying to connect a rare disease or terminal person with rock stars. So if you'd like to get on the list of available people to meet some pretty awesome friends of mine, we'd love to have you.
cool.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Uh,
mm.
did you say it's called Addison's disease?
It's called Addison's disease. I have narcolepsy with cataplexy, also called adrenal insufficiency. I have a brain tumor, lung tumors, and it all stemmed from a birthing injury called an amniotic fluid embolism. So each one of these things is so rare on their own that nobody in North America has the crossover of all of these conditions in one body. I am
So
uniquely very rare.
when you were being born, or when your child was being born?
When my child was being born, my little girl.
Ah, so you were perfectly healthy until that point.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So, and what a way, we got about, I think, 9 minutes left. And, part of the reason why I started doing this was the collapse of family support, just how hard it is to care for somebody terminal, right? And then being told that nobody would support my charities, nobody would support this cause, that, got to the point where I was too embarrassing to be around, or too hard to look at, or too hard to take into public, and then too hard to care for. And just, so it is this reason that I do my work, because I know so many rare and terminal people that people say that to all the time, and it's so hard to take. And I know
Yeah.
what meeting one person, just one famous idol, or talking to them can do for somebody. Like, I shouldn't be alive right now, and here I am. And every day I get up and I think I got something magical to do today. And I was
Mm.
telling Lips that he talks to one person, whether he runs into him at a gas station or at a concert, that person goes on and tells that story for the rest of their life.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
It's 1 minute to him. It's the rest of their life for somebody else. And that's just kind of what I hope to do. So bless you both for being a part of it. And hope we can do some more stuff together.
Anytime, just let us know. We'll be here. And
Yeah.
I might send you it. I may send you one of the tracks.
Yay! Thank you so much. I hope I didn't just guilt you into doing it. Because I'm not trying to. I think for some odd reason, this is my path. I was meant to suffer this so I could do this, so I could meet you guys, so I could have this. Because it's important and it's gonna do something. And from early on, I met Jeff Healy as a child and knew him. That, like, just magical musical influences in my life have led me to believe that this is fate. We'll end it with fate. Started with fate, end it with fate.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thanks for sharing that with us,
You're welcome.
Kelly. Obviously, it's it's very difficult to sit back and hear that. To be honest with you,
I'm sorry. I have a documentary I can send to you in return. That it's a great one. I made it, and it will explain to you everything I have and what it's like to live with it. So if you want to spread it around,
it's humbling. It's humbling. Certainly for me, I'm sure Danny feels the same way. Young woman like you, being in that situation, it's humbling.
I got told I looked 26 the other day, so I'm going with that. I am a young woman. Yep. No, I'm 43. I was like, oh, you're so sweet.
Me and Jeff are only 35.
Exactly, right? We'll go with that and stick with it. Well, you both look too beautiful for fucking metal, that's for sure. So bless you, angels. Bless you.
Yeah, this is where you need to go to Specsavers.
You have a great evening. I know it's late there.
You too, darling.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Kelly.
Jeff, I'll see you on the messenger for a second. Jeff.
See what?
I'll speak to you on Messenger for a second.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, mate. Okay. Cheers. All right. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, thanks, sweethearts.
Bye.
Cheers, Kelly.
Bye.
Bye.
If you want to be on the show, don't be afraid. Just reach out to me. The best way to get a hold of me is always on Facebook. Rockn Talkn family welcomes everybody across the genres, across the world with love. Thanks so much, everybody. Stay safe. Kelly V.